April 1945. World War II is ending. In Berlin, Germany, 50 feet underground, Adolf Hitler is hiding in a concrete bunker. The leader who once controlled most of Europe is now trapped beneath his own capital city. Above him, the city is being destroyed. The Soviet army, Russia's military force, is fighting through the streets. They're getting closer every hour. Hitler knows he's lost. The war is over, and there's no escape. This is the story of his final days of Adolf Hitler. The story of how the most hated dictator in history spent his last moments on Earth. By April 1945, Germany has been fighting for nearly 6 years. Hitler started World War II in 1939 when he invaded Poland. He conquered France, attacked Russia, and committed genocide against 6 million Jews. But now, everything has collapsed. The Americans and British are invading from the west. The Russians are invading from the east. German cities are in ruins. The army is destroyed. Millions of German soldiers are dead or captured. And Berlin, the capital, is surrounded. On April 20th, Hitler turns 56 years old. It's his last birthday. Soviet artillery shells are landing so close to the government buildings that you can hear every explosion underground. The Nazi leadership holds a brief celebration in the bunker. But everyone knows the truth. The war is lost. And the man who started it all refuses to leave. Inside bunker, the Führerbunker, that's what they called it. Führer means leader in German. This bunker complex has 30 rooms spread across 2 levels underground. The walls are made of reinforced concrete, 3 meters thick. That's about 10 feet. It was designed to survive direct bomb hits, but it's not built for long-term living. The air is stale, recycled through inadequate ventilation. The bunker smells like diesel fuel, sweat, and mildew. Fluorescent lights hum constantly. There are no windows, no natural light. Time becomes meaningless down there. About 40 people are living in these cramped rooms. Hitler's closest staff, his doctor, his secretaries, military officers, guards, and his longtime companion, Eva Braun, his wife. He still acts like he's in control. He still holds military briefings twice a day. He gathers his generals around a table covered with maps, and he gives orders. Orders to move army divisions, orders to launch counterattacks, orders to defend Berlin. He's commanding ghost armies. His staff watches this happen, but no one dares to tell him the full truth. April 22nd. This is when reality finally breaks through. Hitler is in a military briefing. He's been waiting for news about a German counterattack led by SS General Felix Steiner. This is Hitler's last hope. Steiner's army group is supposed to attack the Soviet forces surrounding Berlin and save the city. A general walks in with the report. Steiner's attack never happened. The army group barely exists. Most of the soldiers have already retreated or surrendered. Hitler's reaction is volcanic. He says the German nation has proven itself weak, unworthy, that they deserve to be destroyed. For years, these men followed his orders without question. They believed he was leading them to greatness. But in this moment, watching him collapse into a chair, weeping, ranting, they realize it's truly over. The last week in the bunker becomes increasingly bizarre. On April 28th, Hitler learns that Heinrich Himmler, one of his most loyal followers and the head of the SS, has been trying to negotiate a surrender with the Allies behind his back. That same day, he learns what happened to Benito Mussolini, the Italian dictator, and his ally. Mussolini was captured by Italian resistance fighters, executed, and his body was hung upside down in a public square in Milan. Crowds spat on it, threw rocks at it, mutilated it. Hitler becomes obsessed with one thing: his body cannot fall into enemy hands. While Soviet shells exploded above, Hitler married Eva Braun in a small ceremony after midnight on April 29th. There was champagne. There were witnesses. It lasted 10 minutes. Hours later, he dictated his final will. Eva Braun becomes Eva Hitler. She has a few hours of marriage. Right after the wedding, Hitler dictates his last will and testament to his secretary. You might expect some reflection, some acknowledgement of the destruction he's caused. But no, he blames the Jews for starting the war. He blames the generals for losing it. He blames the German people for not being strong enough. He expels Himmler and Hermann Göring from the Nazi Party. He names Admiral Karl Dönitz as his successor. Not a single word of remorse. Hitler and Eva say goodbye to the remaining staff. It's disturbingly polite given the circumstances. Then they walk into their private sitting room. Inside, Eva Hitler bites down on a glass capsule filled with cyanide poison. She dies within seconds. Adolf Hitler places a Walther PPK pistol, a small handgun, against his right head and pulls the trigger. The gunshot echoes through the bunker corridors. Around 10 minutes later, his valet, Heinz Linge, and a few others cautiously open the door. They find Eva slumped to one side on the couch. Hitler sits upright next to her. There's a bullet wound in his right head. Blood is dripping down his face, onto his neck, staining the couch beneath him. Adolf Hitler is dead. But the story doesn't end there. Hitler left explicit instructions. His body must be burned, completely destroyed. He cannot end up like Mussolini. His loyal aides wrap both bodies in blankets. They carry them up the concrete stairs, out of the bunker. Above ground, Berlin is a war zone. Buildings are burning, shells are exploding. The aides place the bodies in a shallow bomb crater. They pour gasoline over them, and they set them on fire. 3 days later, on May 2nd, Soviet soldiers overrun the area. They find the remains, they dig them up. Soviet pathologists conduct an autopsy. They confirm the identity through dental records. Adolf Hitler is definitely dead. On May 8, 1945, Germany officially surrenders. World War II in Europe is over. In just 12 days, we watch the complete collapse of a dictator. Adolf Hitler went from giving orders like he still commanded an empire to dying by his own hand in a bunker underground. The man who promised Germany a 1,000-year Reich, 1,000 years of power and glory, delivered 12 years of destruction, 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust, over 70 million people dead worldwide because of the war he started, entire cities reduced to rubble, families destroyed, generations traumatized, and in the end, when the consequences finally caught up to him, when Soviet soldiers were literally outside his door, when there was nowhere left to run and no one left to save him, he chose the coward's way out. The end of a monster who destroyed millions of lives, dying alone in the dark, exactly as he deserved.